can't leave him here. They might not treat him right. They're gonna do their job, Gina. Quadir's in good hands. Nothing can ever hurt him again. Do you know if he could look down and see you right now and see how you're acting? He'd be hurt to see you like this. Dad, please. Let me just stay with him tonight, please. I can't leave him. I gotta stay with him. He's so cold. He needs a blanket. Can I get him a blanket? Gina, the boy don't need no blanket, girl. You scaring me. Now you gotta pull yourself together. Dad, why did they take him from me? She sobbed. Why did God take my baby from me? Oh God, why? Montel tightened his hold on Gina so she wouldn't fall to the floor. She leaned over on the bed and hugged Quadir's lifeless body and kissed his cheek one last time. I'll always be with you, she whispered in his ear. Then and only then did she let Quadir's father lead her out of the room. He passed his eyes one last time over his dead son and continued walking. Holding the grieving woman, remembering that there was another one waiting, Quadir's mother. Montel took Gina home and stayed with her. When she awoke, Guy Git was sitting in a chair by the bed and Gucci was laying on Quadir's pillow. You okay, baby? Where am I? The scene was like Dorothy and Toto, and it was all a bad dream. You're home. We brought you home last night. Who are you? I'm your grandmother, child. What, you done lost your rabbit-ass mind? Gina's mind had to rewind itself. She wasn't in the projects. She was at her house, and that wasn't Guy Git sitting there. Who are you? Gina asked the girl, not having a clue as to who the stranger was sitting before her. I'm Nita, Jalil's second wife. The girl spoke as if becoming someone's second wife was some normal shit. Nita was so peaceful though, and so soft-spoken. She was humble, even in her jewels, and looked like a queen. She was fully garbed, with a beautiful kimar covering her head. Where's Dad? She asked. He's probably at the hospital with the funeral director and members of the masjid. They are making the funeral arrangements for Quadir. I gotta go there, Gina said, trying to get out of bed. You can't go. There is no one who can go there. Here, honey, just try to relax. I made some tea. Here, drink some. It'll make you feel better. There isn't a goddamn thing that will make me feel better, thought Gina. She swallowed the prescribed sedative Nita handed her, which happened to be the first of many. Nita was a wise woman. Only sleep could fix some things. She knew Gina was only 19, and this kind of trauma could damage her if it wasn't handled right. Poor thing, Nita thought as she stroked Gina's forehead. She stayed by Gina's side until the funeral. It was the hardest day of Gina's life. She hadn't been outside or seen anyone other than Nita since Quad had been killed. The funeral was packed. Reek called Gina from the hospital room he laid in. He cried for her and for Quadir, but most of all for Lita. Gina had never heard a man cry, not even Quadir. She didn't know what to say. She didn't know what to do. She felt his pain and she began crying with him, especially when he talked of Lita. She died that night. She got shot in the neck, and Reek never saw her go down or nothing. He wasn't by her side, and he never told her goodbye. Gina could not see the splendor that the funeral director had arranged for the people who loved Quadir Richards. She only knew her legs wouldn't hold her up. She felt her belly sink some more, and an aching pain twisted her insides as thoughts of him darted through her mind. He looks so fine, someone remarked. No, she thought. He looks dead. The flowers are so beautiful, someone else replied. The flowers smell like death, she thought. Someone was pulling at her, murmuring to her. Gina, come on, baby. Sit down. You're gonna hurt yourself. Please come. She heard the person pulling at her tell people, please, she can't handle it. Never mind the condolences. She can't hear you. All Gina could hear was someone crying, so loud and it hurt so bad. Her body could no longer hold her up, and she dropped in front of his casket to the floor. Something's holding me up. Something's holding me. I can't feel nothing, but I'm standing. How'd they do that? Then she forgot a lot for a time, and then she was outside, still standing, but not alone. It was pretty outside. We in the park. Look, there's birds. What's that noise? The whirring sound of the casket being lowered into the ground registered and brought Gina back out of her mental closet for a moment, into that black hole when all of Gina's hopes, her babies, her life, her one true love, the only man who really loved her. And as his casket sunk deeper and deeper into the ground, her body sank into her grandmother's arms. Gaget knew her baby would never be the same. The weeks passed, and Gina never once went outside. The day Reek was released from the hospital, he went to see her and stayed in the guest room. Together they took care of each other and listened to one another's stories about the good old days. Reek knew Gina was not the same. He wished she would come out her darkness. He tried everything from jokes to reminiscing about his own memories with Quadir, but nothing seemed to work. And then, someone knocked at the back door. "You expected somebody, Gina?" "No." Reek opened the back door to find Quadir's mother standing in a freezing cold. "Hi," she said. "Hi," said Denise. "How you feeling, Gina?" asked Viola, walking through the house into the living room no one was allowed in. "I'm feeling better," said Gina. "Can I get you something?" "I'm not on a social call." "Oh, well, what's up?" asked Gina, wondering what the fuck she was there for. Viola didn't beat around the bush with idle talk about the weather. She got right to the point, and she broke that shit down without blinking an eye. "Listen, Quadir was my son, and I loved him dearly. However, he is gone now, and life must go on." She reached in her pocketbook and pulled out a sheaf of paperwork which she shoved in Gina's face. "As you can see, this house is in my name. I own this house, dear, and I have plans for this property." Gina couldn't believe what she was seeing. Not just the deed to the house. She had paperwork on a Range Rover and a BMW. "Everything," said Viola Richards. Not Montel and Viola, just Viola. The only thing that wasn't in the bitch's name was Gina's furniture, the jewelry, and the Benz. That was it. Gina just sat there looking at the bitch. Reek stepped in. "I think you should leave now. I really think it's time for you to go." "Well, I will give you a week. I hope you understand." She stood up and shook it off as if she had said nothing out of the ordinary. "This has all been so difficult for me to deal with." No one had noticed Gina coming alive. "Difficult for you? It hasn't been that difficult for you to sink your claws into all Quadir's shit. These assets are in my name, therefore that makes them mine." "And what exactly, now that Quadir's dead, is yours?" "The house, the furnishings, the car, and the jewelry. I want it all back." "Oh no, bitch. That's where you fucked up. The Mercedes-Benz is in my name. Would you like to see my paperwork? And the furnishings I bought." By now, she was towering over the woman. "Would you like to see my receipts? And the jewelry is mine too. Everything in this house is mine. All you're gonna get is these walls." The teenage widow stood there waiting, wondering why grown-ups could be so mean. Denise came to her mother's aid. "Who you think you're talking to?" Gina slipped into superior gear. "Whom do you think? Let me tell you something. When your son came into this house and needed something, the motherfucker came to me. When he had a problem, he told it to me. I'm the one who gave Quadir what he needed. Anything he needed, he came to me." She was into it now. Her eyes were boring into the cold-hearted woman with her violin-string, tight-ass chicken hawk daughter. She was into it now. She was into it now. Her eyes were boring into the cold-hearted woman and her violin-string, tight-ass chicken hawk daughter. "That man, my man, has only been in the ground 2 weeks, and you are already clear to claim his shit? My brother would have wanted us to have his things. That's why he put it in our mom's name." "Bitch, please. He put it in your mother's name, Denise, because he was a drug dealer. Shit don't mean he wanted her to have a motherfucking thing. Did the motherfucker ever invite you over? Hell no. What's this, your third visit? I know it and you know it. And you know who your son bought this house for. He bought it for me. You remember that when you turned the key and unlocked the door, you miserable bitch. And you never liked me. So I'm not surprised you got the fucking audacity to come in my house and tell me some bullshit like this." "Who you calling a bitch?" asked Denise. "You heard me. I didn't stutter. Your mother is a miserable bitch that goes around trying to make everyone else miserable. Shit, she can't even hold her man. You want me out? Fuck you. Both of y'all can kiss my ass. I hope you burn in hell. Reek was up. He been letting Gina get everything off her chest. Proud as a peacock and just as happy to see her again among the living. But enough was enough. I think you two should go. You really have no place here. Neither of you do. And what you're doing is wrong. Qua wouldn't have nothing like this. He wouldn't have wanted this to go on. He stood his ground against the chicken hawks. They don't care about Quadir. How could they? How could she? That bitch didn't even raise him, Reek. His grandmother did, and his sister never knew him. Coming here telling me about my goddamn man. Motherfuck you in this motherfucking house. You curse all you want. You can say whatever you want. You just get your low lamp. You curse all you want. You can say whatever you want. You just get your low life ass out of my house. Fuck you, bitch, said Gina as she spit at Viola, missing her by a blow. Hey, Gina, don't let me see you in the street, bitch, 'cause your ass is mine, said Denise. Bitch, we can go round for round right here, right now. Let me go, Reek, said Gina, ready to fuck both their asses up. G was hyped. She was ready to beat a world champion. Gina, chill the fuck out, Reek yelled. He ushered the chicken hawks out the door and closed it behind them. They must have caught a cab to the house or had someone drop them off, 'cause they damn sure were taking the Rover and the BMW with them. Gina wanted to stop them, but what the fuck for? She wanted to kill the bitches, but it wasn't worth it. The bitch can have it, Reek. She can have it all. Shit. The insurance is up on the BMW. I should blow it up. Looking around, she felt her belly sinking again. But only for a second. What am I gonna do, Reek? Call a storage company. Pay them to come and pack your shit up and store it for you. Then you're gonna figure out where you're gonna stay and you're gonna move. If you want a house, I'll get you one. Or you can come stay with me. No, Reek, I'm okay. She finally sat down. I want to go home. For the first time in her life, she wanted to go home to God Git's house.